from Concord and Ninth. Today I'm going to show you tips for success in tinting our product line called Tintables. First, let's talk about the product. Each pack consists of 4 different designs, comes shrink wrapped together including this chipboard backer so it's protected in mailing. The paper itself is 9 by 11. What's nice about that is if you choose to frame it, if you just trim off 1/2 inch from each edge of this paper, it'll fit nicely in an 8 by 10 frame. The paper itself is a cotton paper. It's high quality, recycled from textiles, so it's environmentally friendly. It's got a special coating on the top where the design is. That special coating resists your ink colors, which makes your designs pop. Okay, we're going to start with this print today, the You Matter print. The first thing I've done is I've taped down the edges, which will help prevent your paper from warping. The first thing you'll need is a cup of water, a nice watercolor brush. I like this one, it's got a lot of bristles on the end. You can also use one that's flat. It's totally up to you. Today I'm going to use re-inkers that ink up your ink pads, but you can also use your dollar store paints or get some watercolor paints from the craft store. Okay, if I have put my inks in a little palette here. If you don't have a palette, just put it on a plate. First things first, always start by putting water down on your paper first. What that's going to do is create a nice palette to put your water on. This technique here, it's like putting down a watercolor wash on your print. So just make sure that the water is all over the design. I'm going to start out with a little bit of blue here, and I'm just going to put a nice blue wash behind the entire image. Okay, and what's nice, because I've put that water down first, putting the blue ink on top, I'm just kind of pushing the blue around with my brush because I've already got water in place where I want it to go. If I just swipe it back and forth, it's going to create a nice background and you can see that image pop up. It's really fun. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. If you need to dry it faster, use a heat tool or a blow dryer. Again, I'm going to go back in and I'm placing down water, and I'm just going inside the apple. There's a fine white line of the special coating that keeps that water inside the apple for me. So I've laid down the water. I'm going to go ahead and pull some yellow ink here, dip it with just a hint of green. It's going to give us a nice Granny Smith looking apple. So again, I'm just letting the ink do the work. I'm pushing the ink color around, making sure to get out to my edges. I don't want an apple with a blue edge, so I'm pushing that ink color all the way out to the edges. Just kind of work it around until you're happy with what that looks like. I think I'm going to take just a little bit more green here and put it up in the corner. Give this apple just a little bit more dimension right here. Okay, and you'll notice that I've got lots of ink, not a ton of ink, but lots of water on here that I'm just kind of pushing around. It does tend to puddle a little, so I'm just going to pull a little bit of paper towel, and I'm not dabbing this. I'm actually just barely touching it so the ink soaks right up into the paper towel. And as you can see, Greg is kindly pointing out for me that I have a puddle going on over here in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. And again, just barely touching so that the paper towel soaks that up. You can also take the paper towel and wipe right over the top of the letters in the words You Matter. That'll take any ink off the top of the letters itself. Okay, let's work on the stem. So I'm again getting some water. I've mixed orange and blue ink together. I know that sounds really scary, but it does create a nice brown. So I'm just going in and doing the stem. Now I'm going to go over the leaf itself. So I'm applying water first. Remember, applying the water first. And now I'm going to take just the straight green, a little bit more intense so that it's different than my apple. If my hand weren't in the way, you could see this better, but I promise you'll see it in just a moment. I'm doing the same kind of technique. I just used a smaller brush, and I'm just adding the ink in, taking my paper towel and going over the top of those veins in the design to remove the ink from the special coating so that that pops. Then I'm going to go back in with just a little bit more of the green here towards the bottom. Just kind of emphasize that leaf a little bit. Okay. As you do that, then your print, like I'm pretty satisfied with this, so just do a little bit more cleaning up and I'm good to go. It can be that easy. Now, what I'm going to do is show you some more prints from the same You Matter pack. Here we have a stack of books. This would look so cute on near a child's bookshelf. We've got an alphabet here. Notice we've highlighted the letters HI, H-I. Here's one that's a lot more adventurous. Just adding in some primary colors makes that bright and fun. Here's a print that would be so cute in a teacher's room. Just attach it to an inexpensive clipboard, add a tag to it, add your child's name at the bottom of the tag. What teacher wouldn't enjoy that on the first day back to school? Here's another idea. This print you can find on our Pinterest page, also our website. Here's an 8x10 frame. Look how well that frames right in there. Anyway, I hope these tips have helped you out today.